You done with it? You gonna run for city council?
Coming.
When Jay takes,
No,
when
you're
Jay,
it.
when Jay takes Tom's spot?
Am I over here?
In the front,
Is he?
front center.
I think so. I think Tom Watley's mine. I don't know who yours
No,
is.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about.
Jay Tohobi. Oh, actually, I don't know. I bet yours is Stephen Dixon.
All right, we'll call the January 5th Board of Zoning Adjustment meeting into order.
Drew Goodner, Frost Rollins, Emmy Sorrells,
Here.
Kim White,
Here.
Clint Wilson,
Here.
John Huff,
Here.
Letitia Khalif.
Here.
Maybe I should have replied back. You want to do anything about the minutes?
I'll make a
Saw your
motion.
email late. I didn't, did you? I didn't-
I've reviewed them. I didn't have
Yeah.
any corrections. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December 1st, 2021.
Second.
Emmy Sorrells,
Yes.
Kim White,
Yes.
Clint Wilson,
Yes.
John Huff,
Yes.
Letitia Khalif.
Yes.
Okay, I have a opening remark for this hearing. Any persons aggrieved by any decision of the board may within 15 days after such decision appeal to the circuit court having jurisdiction according to section 908.02 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Auburn, Alabama. The board consists of 5 regular members and 2 supernumeraries. The supernumeraries participate in all discussions, vote only when, but only vote when necessary to assure 4 voting members and have a board consisting of 5 members when possible. All decisions are made with a roll call vote, and a concurring vote of 4 members is required to approve an application for a variance. We have any old business?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, good afternoon. Your first case today is going to be a set of variances from the NC district. Specifically, it's going to be 3 variances. First is a variance of 3 feet to the required minimum side setback of 14 feet to allow minimum side setback of 11 feet. The second variance is one of a 1-foot variance to the required total side setback of 30 feet to allow a total side setback of 29 feet. And then the last is a variance of 0.06 to the impervious surface ratio, maximum of 0.36 to allow an ISR of 0.42. The subject property is located at 215 Marion Circle in the NC 14 district. The property map here, you can see that the property is surrounded by similarly zoned residential properties in just south of the urban neighborhood south, so this is fairly central into the city. Property owners are Greg and Anna Solomon, who are here. The applicants are wanting to build an addition onto their home to allow a ground story bedroom for the purposes of a little bit more being able to stay in the location a little bit longer for their during their age, and also providing a tornado shelter in the addition as well. You can see that the location of the house itself on the property is set much further back than the actual setback was required for this area. That's created an instance where they've had to increase the impervious surface for a drive to reach the house, in addition to the additional sizes and structures that are already there. That's the purpose of the ISR request. You also have a on the side of where the addition will go. There is already part of a structure that will be taken down to permit the additional portion of the building to be added on. However, this will extend another 6 feet or so on the opposite side of that, which will encroach into that side setback. And as a result of that, the total side setback is also reduced, but as you add both of those side setbacks together. The two site plans you see in front of you The first is the original submission on the right, and then the second is the revised submission, which has a couple of different measurement differences. The important that one of the things that went into staff consideration was something that was shown on the original but was left off of the revised. In the front yard, which is the majority, makes up the majority of their buildable area in the lot, you have underground easements and lines that run through that front yard. Here's the floor plan for the proposed addition. You can see it's a bedroom with essentially a master bedroom suite. There's a picture of the property looking at the front. And this white line behind that tree is generally the roof line of the existing structure. Here you see the portion of the building that's going to be taken down and replaced with a larger area shaded there. This dotted red line represents the side property line on that side. As a result of the circumstances involved, staff is recommending approval for this. The neighbors, we've received positive correspondence in support of their request from 3 of their neighbors, and one other request just for information from another neighbor. We've not received anything in opposition to their request. Any other staff questions of staff?
Did the neighbor to the east speak in favor of it?
Yes.
Any other questions for Joe?
I don't have a question, but just for notes, in the request, we have 1, 3, and 3 as opposed to variance 1, 2, and 3. So just make a note of that.
I did see that, yes.
Okay.
That's my fault.
No problem.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Joe. Would the applicant like to speak?
Right. Thank you very much. I'm Anna Solomon, my husband Greg. So we are the applicants, and we would just like to answer any questions you have about this. I guess as far as maybe a statement, we live in an older house, and so it was built in 1939, and then an addition was built in 1949, but all of our bedrooms are upstairs. So we'd like to, the goal is to have a bedroom downstairs. We have a half bath downstairs, but not a full bath downstairs. And just the way the lot is configured, it's kind of one of those older neighborhood lots that's a little bit odd, and where the house was built kind of towards the back part of the lot. That did make the driveway seems like it's real long to get to the house. And our neighbor to the east, Donna Bohannon and Frank Smith, Donna was here last time in support of this, and we have talked to her. They did a similar type addition to their house probably a dozen years ago. So she understands what we're doing. So they wrote a letter in support, but due to COVID and concerns, they didn't want to be here tonight. And we actually asked them and said we were fine if they didn't come tonight. The other neighbor that lives 2 doors down, Leslie Beard, is an interior designer, and she's the person who drew up our plans. She has done additions to her house, and so she, I don't believe, wrote a letter of support because she felt like that might be kind of odd to write a letter of support, but then also be drawing up the plans, but she's working with us for that. So what questions can I answer?
Any questions?
You mentioned in the application that you did some topography changes for drainage issues. Have there been any problems since?
No. So the lot slopes from the back, and then it did slope towards the house, so we diverted that. And we had a local landscape architect do that. And I brought those plans too. Like, I have lots of things in folders, and my husband has the landscape architect plans. But since that time, it diverted it.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Ms. Solomon.
I feel like I need to answer more things.
And I'll just, I guess, summarize it. It seems pretty clear to me. You guys are getting older. You'd like space downstairs to be able to live in your own house. You're not changing the character of the house. It's going to stay the same on the outside or look the
And I
same
have
on the
lots
outside.
of Pinterest pictures too, with the vision that is there. We didn't, Leslie didn't draw any elevations for us yet because she wanted to make sure that she was using her time wisely as we worked with her. That was, I think, some pictures of a house that we had renovated on Fontaine. That is Pinterest worthy, I think, too. But I do, the house will still have the character where I envision is the sunroom, a small sunroom towards the front of it. Still will look colonial.
Okay, thank you. Open to public hearing. Okay, nobody coming forward, so we'll close public hearing, open to board discussion.
I saw the statements about the narrow lot and the placement of the house towards the back, that this was because the home predates being zoned as neighborhood conservation. And so most of the lots there are legally non-conforming already.
Right. And if no one has an issue with it, I'll move to approve 3 variances. PL 2021-00709, the variance of 3 feet to the required minimum side setback of 14 feet to allow a minimum side setback of 11 feet.
Second?
Amy Sorrells?
Yes.
Kim White?
Yes.
Clint Wilson?
Yes.
John Huff?
Yes.
Letitia Cole?
Yes,
And the second variance of 1 foot to the required side setback of 30 feet to allow a total side setback of 29 feet.
Second?
Amy Sorrells?
Yes.
Kim White?
Yes.
Clint Wilson?
Yes.
John Huff?
Yes.
Letitia Cole?
yes,
And the third variance of 0.06 to the ISR maximum of 0.36 to allow an ISR of 0.42.
Second?
Amy Sorrells?
Yes.
Kim White?
Yes.
Clint Wilson?
Yes.
John Huff?
Yes.
Letitia Cole?
yes.
Right.
We can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
it. We'll drop by and look at it and take pictures.
Put it on Pinterest.
Right. Next case is, see, Katie?
So this is a request that was postponed during your December meeting because we had, I believe, 4 members at that meeting. We offered everyone the opportunity to postpone to January. So tonight we do have 5 members, but one of the members has conflict that they won't be able to vote on this. And so for that reason, plus personal reasons, the applicant is requesting that you postpone this one more time, if you wouldn't mind. Staff's perfectly good with this to the February 2nd meeting, I believe it is.
Okay. Move to postpone PL 2021-0076 to the February meeting. Is that correct, Steve?
February 2nd.
February 2nd, 2022.
I think I should not vote on it at all, so I'm gonna recuse from this part too. So,
I'll second.
Amy Sorrells?
Yes.
Clint Wilson?
Yes.
John Huff?
Yes.
Letitia Cole?
Yes,
Okay. Logan?
Good evening. before you under new business is a request from Donnie Agnew for a property located at 2245 Morgan Drive in the Development District Housing Zoning District. The variance sought is a variance to Table 5-1 for conventional subdivisions. Is a request to reduce the front setback from a required 25 feet to a 20-foot setback. Here is an exhibit showing a proposed house site plan for the property. It is one of the last lots in Morgan Woods. And as proposed, only a portion of the home would encroach into that front setback. Based on staff's analysis, there's not necessarily a hardship that would deprive the property from its use as a single-family home. Likewise, no unique circumstance that would deprive it of total use. The property owner is here if you have any questions for him. Otherwise, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Logan?
Is it just the sidewalk is that what that is? I'm just making sure. I'm
No,
looking at it
it's like a front,
What the orange part is?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes ma'am.
that's hard to tell from it.
It is hard to tell. What is that
Yeah.
again?
I guess it's where the house is gonna butt up, so that, because the sidewalk would not count on.
Yeah, the sidewalk does not count it can be in the setback.
So they're like drawing it.
It looks like the
The
orange
house
is
is
the
actually
is the
gonna come
encroachment area.
forward.
I
Correct.
guess so, like this room right here and this front.
Just
porch.
that portion, let me try and figure this out here.
Yeah, but what is that?
It is just a
It's just they're extending, is that like a
extension.
dining room and a
Right.
front stoop or something?
Right.
So the original plan obviously was to just have it where the solid black line was?
This is the original plan. There's no existing house on it. This would be a new build.
This is the last lot in the subdivision, and it just
Yeah,
happens to
I
be
think
a
like second to last.
pie-shaped
There were a
lot.
couple of one-offs out in there that haven't been built on.
That's the area of where the proposed structure would encroach into the existing setback.
I'm confused though, because the dark line looks like the building.
So
So what is,
that black line should extend. Is that what?
That's what they would like to do.
Yes.
That's correct.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Huh.
But nothing's been built.
That's correct.
It might be, I'll, if you mind if I ask a question? I think, listening to everybody's questions, the confusion might be that the black line seems to represent something. If it's not an existing home, then I wonder, is that a standard floor plan that someone has that is trying to be built on the site, and there's a modification to it that results in the orange? That's what I'm wondering, and I guess the applicant
Yeah,
can.
so this is floor plan that's been reduced.
Yeah, go ahead and come up and give your name and address.
Thank you, Logan.
Hey, guys, thank you for your time. My name's Donnie Agnew. I'm the property owner. Mike, Mayor back here, he's helping me with the layout, and he's here to speak as well. So the floor plan that's shown here, it's actually been cut down about 5 feet, and it's needed to, anyway, when you cut a floor plan down, you're like, okay, your living room now, instead of being 18 feet wide, it's only 13. Well, nobody wants, something like that. So I need that roughly 5 feet to be able to get a house that is consistent in character with the neighborhood and similar size and bedroom count to be able to fit on the lot, basically. I'm sorry for the confusion there. I probably could have done a better job. This is my first time coming to the BZA, so. One thing that will also help with is there's a driveway on the side property line, and I think that the 5 feet will give me a little bit of room too to create a kind of a buffer between that driveway that passes on that, I guess it would be the north side property line as well.
Okay. Any questions for Donnie?
I think Mike has spent a good bit of time trying to make this a lot where you can build a house that's similar in character and size to the other houses in the neighborhood. And he can attest to the fact that we worked on this a good bit, and we feel like this is the best solution. Thank you, guys.
Donnie, will you be sure to sign in for us, please?
You want any more clarity on that? I could tell you all the history.
If you'd like to speak, you're more than welcome to.
Mike Marr, Precision Surveying. This is probably, I look back at my records, we've probably done 6 site plans on this lot. The subdivision was done back, I think, 2009 or 2010. And in retrospect, when the Houston builders developed that, they should have probably taken 5 more foot from some of the other lots and made that a little more buildable. The other thing that doesn't really show up in the plat very well is that driveway that's to the north serves actually 2 lots. It's a paved driveway. It's more like a private road than it is a driveway. So we had to take special consideration in dealing with the owner to the north, and they installed a fence and put an easement in place to give them some surety that they would still have ingress and egress. So moving the house forward a little bit would alleviate some of the pressure on that driveway in the back. Any other questions you have, I'll be glad to answer.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Open to public hearing. Close public hearing. Open to board discussion.
Did we receive any communication for this? I did not see.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
See that staff recommends denial, so.
Pie-shaped lot. They're trying to fit in a house, which I would do, try to do the same thing. The biggest house they can for the lot.
I don't
Looks
think
like
it's
the
out of
other-
character for what's out there either.
Yeah, the other houses are big.
I mean, I would definitely say it needs to stay within the plan. Like it would need to adhere to the plan as presented. So moving it to that orange line, is that gonna push the sidewalk up the additional 5 feet as well? That probably doesn't really matter, but just from an aesthetic point, is that gonna put that front walkway, gonna push it forward too, or is it gonna stay where it is?
I mean, they have an option between, in the conventional subdivision, one side is slightly offset to the other to meet the total side setback. So they've chosen to put the larger side setback on the portion of the property that has the driveway on it.
Because of that
Because of the driveway.
Yeah, that is a strange, I've seen that before too, it is kind of
But
strange.
as shown, not including the requested variance, the proposed residence is right on the setback lines. Maxed out.
There's not really any way to tweak it either, like to move it around, I'm sure.
Mr. Chairman. 2 comments. One regarding the sidewalk from the driveway to the front door. If part of the ask was, will that be relocated? I would think obviously it probably will be moved out further, which is not anything that would need a variance, so that's fine. But then the other thing I was going to say is if you do have a motion for approval, then we would normally recommend that the construction be consistent with the plan that you have on the screen right now. They couldn't deviate from that.
John, this is our last one.
It is our last one.
Gotta go out.
Yeah, make it good.
What do you think?
I mean, it's, the building line, it's already, I mean, it's 6 foot and 9 foot, a total of 15, am I right? On the sides?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's oh, what is it in DD? It's only 10 feet, isn't it? I mean, 5 feet.
I don't know. That seems,
Checking the ordinance now.
do I?
Checking the ordinance now.
Okay,
I can answer that if you want.
yeah,
That's
It's
fine.
a 15-foot total setback, so you can split it where one side could be as close as 6, and that means the remainder would have to be 9. And we chose to put the smaller away from the driveway and the bigger up next to the driveway. So we're not asking for a variance to the sides or the rear, it's to the front,
Just to
which is
the front.
25.
Right. I guess my thing is, I mean, it's already tight. The whole neighborhood's already squeezed pretty tight, I guess, is from what I've seen. And you don't have any, with it being in a, I'm gonna ask, and I'm sure it's fine, but with it being a curve right there in the street, we don't have to worry about any obstacles or any blockage with it. I don't remember what, there's some formula or something. But there, even if they scoot it forward, we don't have that problem as far as view and all that stuff
No.
for traffic.
It's on the right side of the curve for the view.
so they'd be coming this way.
Well, it's a two-way street, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, depends on which way you're driving. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying.
I mean, I know why they did that, because with that one being, you wouldn't want your bedroom over here, or whatever's over here. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming that's living room.
Well, we don't know what any
Yeah.
of it's new. I guess my point is it's already a extremely tight set-up neighborhood, so in my opinion, whoever set it up to begin with, it was a problem, so I don't think we're adding to their problem.
Right.
Right.
Now, y'all have known how I voted in the past, it's a brand new thing, so I mean, they can go back and redraw and make it fit.
I agree.
Yeah.
But you said they've done that, like, how many times have you revised this plan?
At least 4.
So we're probably at the point of exhausting all possibilities at this point, I would think.
Chairman, could we bring the aerial back up that shows a little more of the neighborhood, just so you can see the context of that lot with some of the others, and the odd shape and so forth?
It's true. 40 times, 39 times.
39 times to get it right, right?
Other houses do that.
All right, do I hear a motion?
And I'm inclined to approve it, so I would. I know, I'm too nice. So I will make a motion to approve PL 2021-00847 for variance of 5 feet to table 5.1 lot area setbacks, maximum impervious surface, and parking requirements. From, don't need to read this whole thing. Parking requirements for conventional subdivisions of the zoning ordinance of the city of Auburn in order to reduce the required front setback from 25 to 20 feet.
Would that be with the condition that
Yes.
construction be
Sorry, yes,
consistent with the
with the
plan?
condition that the building be consistent with the plans as presented, submitted. Stand alone, nobody's gonna second it.
Second.
Amy Sorrells,
Yes,
Kim White,
No.
Clint Wilson,
No.
John Huff,
No.
Letitia Khalif.
Yes.
Second doesn't mean we're voting for it.
Well, I understand how
Right.
it works.
Oh, I just don't want to.
Meeting is adjourned.
like,
Mr.
Oh, we got stuff.
If I could.
Uh,
Sorry.
Sorry, reopen meeting.